Here is another picture of Tahoe, Lake Tahoe. Quite amazing water quality. Okay, give me some factors. Today we are going to talk about the water pollution factors. So give me some factors you know that go highly toxic to our water. Euro waste, okay, our body waste can be polluted our water, but is it really a pollution or it is a kind of a nutrition for those water creatures? It may be kind of a nutrition, right? Okay, except the pee or poo, okay? So anything else? Iron, okay, yes, it could be, okay. And you know, those soaps we are using every day to washing our body or our dish, right? Food waste, those kind of unfinished soap, oiled, right? That can be the pollute factor. But the most important factors we will count is from the industry wastewater. Okay, those acid, those chemicals will polluted the water. Okay, Lake Tahoe is around 2,000 meter sea level. So it's quite high place, like covered by the snow. So once during the summertime, the snow will melt it to the water. It's very clear water, okay? But now we have a microparticle floating in the air, and this kind of particle will be absorbed by the raindrops, and the raindrops goes to the Lake Tahoe. It also polluted the water, okay? So even it is invisible, still this water is a little bit dirty. And now currently we have a very terrible event that we have wildfire in Lake Tahoe. Wildfire, the forestry, the trees, it's burning, okay? You can see the following map here. Here is the pictures. Why are the trees so easy burning? Why? Because they are soft wood. They are soft wood. Soft wood contain a lot of the essential oil or resin. Okay, you can just imagine a wood contained with the oil, like the matchstick, and it's very easy to burn. And once it starts burning, when the temperature rising high, it starts explode like a bomb, okay, like a sticky fireball. Those wood chips was covered by this kind of resin, and the resin was burning with fire. And once the temperature rising high, the moisture in the wood will become steam and enlarge their volumes, their size, and which create, imagine like a balloon that's explode, okay? And everything comes out is oil mixed with fire. And it will stick on another tree. So another tree start burning. So it's quite very, very fast. And you can see the byproducts of this forest fire is the ash. Okay, it's the ash. And those ash will be fallen down into the water, and which highly polluted the water. Okay, and the clearance of the water changed, and the color become dark green, not like this blue. Okay, and the people living around it, beside this lake, will be survived by just pumping the water for their daily use. But once those water was polluted, a lake of the freshwater resource. Okay, so the people living in Tahoe right now facing a very hard time. Okay, very hard time because they didn't have clean water. Allow me to explain shortly in Chinese. 1 minute will be fine. 这个 PowerPoint 里面，我们刚刚给你看到，其实是太浩湖的一个水。太浩湖的水质其实非常干净的，因为它在海拔2000多公尺高的地方。然后呢，它有雪水跟雨水。那雨水其实还是有可能带来一些微粒，带来一些脏污的东西。但是基本上太浩湖的水是非常干净的。再过来就是太浩湖最近发生了一件很可怕的事情，就是森林大火。 太阳湖附近的森林，因为它是针叶树 （softwood） 针叶树，那针叶树里面有很多的油脂 ，contains lots of oil。然后当针叶树燃烧的时候，它就想象一根火柴里面是有油的，然后当它燃烧的时候，里面有水，温度到了一个程度之后，水会体积膨胀，那膨胀之后就会把这个木材撑开。那撑开你就想象是一个爆炸的气球这个样子，只是所有喷出来的东西都是油加火，然后这些被油裹住的木片呢，就会粘到其他的树上，而旁边都是针叶树，所以就会一大群树开始燃烧，然后不停的爆炸，然后彼此在燃烧，这样可以理解吗？好，所以针叶树的森林大火是非常可怕的一件事情，比阔叶树更可怕 ，because those softwood contents of the oil, a lot of the oil, very easy to burning. OK， 然后我刚刚讲说，这个森林大火的最可怕的一个副产物就是它的灰烬，这些灰烬会飘在空气中。Oh, it lasts about 1 month of this wildfire. So you can imagine about 1 month beside you, there is a house burning. And it's terrible, right? Continually burning, and it's come closer to your house, and you will be in danger, right? It's a terrible situation. 然后在这个样子的情况下，这些灰烬飘到水里面，它的水质整个产生很大的变化。你从这个图片上面可以看到，其实这个水质已经变成深绿色，它已经不是原来的蓝色了，可以理解哈。那然后最可怕的一件事情，其实不是水质变脏而已，是附近的人饮用这些水，他们变得没有新鲜的淡水来源。You could not live without water, right? So if you didn't drink fresh water within 3 days, you will die. It's terrible things, but people living there don't have water, don't have fresh water. So they have to transport the water from other areas to Lake Tahoe. Okay, so they drink the bottled water right now. Okay, and I list a lot of link here, so you could see. Give me some resource you could use for fresh water. Even you have to purify it. From the mountain, and the Taiwan mountains high is about 3,000 meters. It's too far from us. Yes, we could have some water, fresh water on the mountainside. And once I go to mountain climbing, every kind of water I can get, I would drink. Okay? So allow me to show you a terrible picture. We go to Nanheng. This is a mountainside of Taiwan. And we will have to walk about 2 days on the mountainside without water. We could not go down to the valley to get fresh water from river. So if we have see a small pond like Tianchi here, and we will have to drink the water inside, and you can see the water color is green. After you burning it, after you boil it, it's still green. And it contains a lot of the pee and the poo inside. Of course, people camping around here and they poo and pee. And within the raindrops, they all goes to this pond. And those wild animals also eat and pee here in the water. A lot of deer on the mountainside, they do so. And even the water smell like loops. So we still have to boil it and drink it. Okay? So it's terrible. Even on the mountainside, the Taiwan water is still not so good for drink. So any other resource for fresh water?
Underground.
Underground water will be fine. Yes, we're talking about that mainly in following PowerPoint slide. Underground water, we can plug it out, we can pump it out, but what will happen if we overusing those underground water? What will happen?
The land will sink.
The land will sink because we don't have water inside under the soil, and we empty a hollow space, right? And the soil crushed. It will happen. And the other terrible thing is if this hollow place, this hole doesn't crushed, must be something filling inside, right? Taiwan was surrounded by ocean. So the salt water will get in this hole and fill it. And what will happen? This land, all the soil that we want to use for agriculture was full of the salt now. So our products, all the plants will die. It's already a serious situation in the western part of Taiwan. Okay, so if we go to Taiwan map, if you enlarge it in Zhanghua County, and we have a huge river inside, right? You may expect it, all the green part is land, but keep enlarge it, and you can see it's actually a lot of a blue square here, right? This is a fish farm, so we're feeding fish in here. And you can see lots of the place was covered by the blue square here. If we enlarge it, go. Oh, this great place means the building. Okay, we go a little bit closer to the ocean. And you can see this part. Okay, so already those land will not be able to use to growing the rice or sweet potato or vegetable here. It can only using as a fish farm. Why? Because already those water was contains a lot of salt. They using before, I think 20 years before or 30 years before, those area were all used for growing rice. But those farmers need a lot of light water to raising their rice, okay? And they pumping the underground water because they don't have to pay the water fee for the water company, okay? They save a lot of money, but they plug out those underground water and create a situation that here in Zhanghua, the land will sink about 2 centimeters per year. That's terrible. We have a high-speed railway on it. Could you imagine that? That's terrible. Here, Taiwan Gaotie, you can see the green line. This line now is gray area. It goes to Xizhou and it goes to Erlun and follows go to here, very close to the place. Very close to the place here, like what we talk about in Ershui, Erling, this area. So they actually cross this land. You can see this gray line here. This is a high-speed railway. Okay, they will have to spending a lot of money to reinforce the basement of this high-speed railway, so it will not have car accident. In Chinese, sorry. 在这个地方，我跟你讲的是说彰化二水，台湾的西部这个地方，因为超抽地下水的问题，所以土地已经盐化的非常厉害，然后土壤会下陷。最厉害的地方，我们每一年可以下陷2公分，每一年下陷2公分，然后加上海平面上升，然后土地下降，所以这个地方的海水已经倒灌的非常厉害，所有的那些地下水本来是淡水的部分，都已经几乎无法使用了。OK 哈，那这个地方本来是要种稻田的，现在都没有，所以地图上你所有看到的蓝色的部分都是余温了，可以吗？都是 fish farm， 都是余温了。然后我们的高铁从这个地方经过，所以你们每一次坐高铁的时候都是坐在一个下沉的、浮动的 plastic very soft soil 的 base， it's kind of terrible。OK， 高铁每一年要花非常非常多的钱来加固它的地基，所以这个高铁才不会断掉。这样可以理解吗？高铁如果下线，高铁已经几年了 ？How many years since we built up this high-speed railway? I think over 10 years, right? 2 centimeters per year, plus 10 years. We already lost 20 centimeters of the height in this high-speed railway. Okay, so it's kind of terrible. Okay, this is the situation. We can use the water from underground, but yes, it do cause the problem. So any other place we could get the water. Ocean is a good way, but the content of a salt. We have to use the desaltination process to make it light. The river, yes, the river. River is kind of very interesting things. They brings the light water from the mountainside. Okay? But at the beginning, it's quite clean. In the middle areas, we already have agricultures. Farmer grows fruit trees here, grows high sea level, the vegetable there, and they use some pesticide and chemicals. Okay, those things will all go into the river, and then we keep going. Very close to the end part of the river, we start to have our life using water. You know, every day we use those water, and our wastewater also goes into the river. So unfortunately, all the river in the west part of Taiwan already highly polluted. Okay, if you still remember the PowerPoint slide I showed you in last week, and you will see the color of this water comes this way. This ice candy was made by the river water directly in the west part of Taiwan. So our water actually was this kind of quality if we directly pump it from water. Okay? So do we truly have a clean water resource in Taiwan? Do we? You may tell me, yes, sir, we can collect in the raindrops, right? The raindrops should be a little bit cleaner. No, the truth is no. We have air pollution. So all the water in Taiwan, almost 98% of the water in Taiwan need purified, and then we can drink them. Okay. And I want to tell you some interesting story. So we're using the water dams to collecting the water, to collecting the raindrops, and also some river water. And I told you already, where can we build this water dam, right? In the middle part of the river, and it's around the sea level 1,000 to 2,000, around this area. We have raindrops most there. Okay, but even we build a water dam, don't we have any kind of a risk? What kind of a risk we are facing? 好，我们台湾可以建水库的方式，用建水库的方式去储水，因为反正所有的水都是脏的，你只有在河川的中段或上游的地方节水下来，那个水才是干净的。在这个样子的前提之下，我们盖了很多的水库，但是我们没有面对任何的风险吗？我们会面对什么样的风险？ What kind of a risk we are facing if we build a huge water dam? The environment will get used to this dam, and other animal species might be able to use the water dam, you know, to continue their life generations, like some kind of a light water fish. Okay, they could use it, and some birds, like kingfishers, 翠鸟 kingfisher, like hunting fish. Okay, kingfisher like hunting fish. And you can see the color on their feather is quite shining blue, right? In following class, we will have, I think, 1 hour to talk about the color from natural. Okay, we have a natural pigment like fruit, like flower. We have a chemical pigment, like man-made artificial colors, and we have a structure color. It's interesting, we're talking about a structure color in nanostructure. Okay, it looks crystalline, but still they combining together will reflect the sunlight and it creates rainbow color. We're talking about that later, okay? But in ancient time, like 100, 200 years ago, we don't have the technology to create artificial color, right? So we could only get the color from natural. Kingfisher is a good way. We use their feather to decorate the jewelry, hair pin, hair decoration. And you can see all those jewelry shows blue color. And if you see in detail, they are all decorated by the feather from kingfisher. You may have to kill 2,000 kingfisher to get this decoration. You can see they have a very even color, right? Very even color. And they all from only one area. Here, only 2 or 3 feathers could be collected from one kingfisher. Okay? So when you want to make a decoration like this one, like this huge one, you need to take about 2,000. What a terrible color, right? You may tell me, yes, teacher, we can catch kingfisher alive and only take 1 or 2 feathers and let them go. Sorry, the way we catching them, we murder them. Okay, sorry, it's terribly true. But we will talk about that more later. Okay, go back to the PowerPoint slide. We build the water dams. We're facing some kind of a dangerous. What kind of a risk we have? Sorry. Yes, earthquake in Taiwan, you already connected the 2 factors, okay? In the very first class, we mentioned about the volcano, right? It's about fire. And I told you the fire, the volcano ash could bring us land. Like Taiwan was born because we have underwater volcano. So the Taiwan island raising. So we have land, we have fire. Now we're talking about water. And then now you can connect it to factors like fire could influence the quality of the water, right? Once we boil the water, and the bacteria was killed. So water getting more clear. But if the water burning the trees and brings the ash into the water, the quality drop. Now, earthquake, huge earthquake can damage the water dam. Okay, can damage the water dam seriously. So what happened if this water dam broke? For that body, okay. Let's see what we have. For students in the classroom, you can see this happening in India. It's happening in India. Their water dam broke. And from the mountain top, a massive water comes down and it directly destroyed the water dam. You can see that it just couldn't stop. This concrete structure won't be able to stop the water. And it also washed out the mountain, brings a lot of soil. It's not pure water. It's like a mud water. When you get touched with the kinds of mud water, you can imagine a baseball in high speed that hits your body. You couldn't even standing, right? It's higher density that will push you away. You won't even able to survive in this water. You can't even swimming in this kind of water. Okay, it just directly go down. No matter you have a road here, you have any kind of machine, nothing can stop them. They're just directly going down until they reach the river. Where we face this kind of disaster in Taiwan, will we have chance to face it? Yes, we do have chance to face it, but might not be so terrible because in Taiwan, almost all the water dam we use the way to block the river. Okay, to block the river, to retain the water. So if the water goes too fast, too much quantity, we'll open all the gates and let the water come through. Okay, so we might not have this kind of terrible, but you can see it destroy a road without mercy. Now you can imagine how many people killed by this massive disaster. So once we build the water dam, it's a lot highly risky. Okay, and even nothing happened, this water dam will grow so old very fast. Why the reason it gets old is because the siltation, which means a lot of dirty things was accumulated in the bottom of these water dams, make the volume of this water getting smaller. Okay, there are several reasons I list here. The one thing is related to the clam, shellfish. And I told you they can filter the water, they can create the pearl, but now they are also damaged our water. Okay, go to these slides. Students, you can see it lists a lot of the major water dams in Taiwan. And those gray areas, these gray areas means siltation, means mud, means dirty things in the water dams. You can see Zhengwen water dam is the biggest water dam in Taiwan. And around of, I think 40 to 50% is already cannot use because of dirty things on the bottle. Okay, and if this is 100, it should be 40. It's like 60. So when the sea level lower than 50%, all the water we get from this water dam is dirty water, very difficult to purify. Okay, in Chinese, 在台湾呢，水库面对的最大的问题，其实老化的最大问题是泥沙的淤积。好，泥沙的淤积，这些泥沙会沉在水库的底部，然后让水库的体积变少。那这些泥沙来自哪里？来自山上，每一次的下雨啊，山坡地的土石崩落就会有。那这个地方有 list 出来，就是这一些可能的原因啊，可能原因，其中一个原因其实是跟蛤蜊有关系的。是跟蛤蜊有关系，等一下我们会讲这个事情。然后呢，你会看到像台湾的曾文水库是最大的水库，它大概已经有40%以上的空间是淤积了的，所以这个很可怕。当你的假设这个是100%，好，蓝色的是60%，灰色的是40%，然后当你的水大概到50%的时候，就是快要碰到那个淤泥的时候，那个水会很脏，那个水会脏到完全无法过滤。OK。So even we have a very huge water dam in Taiwan, we still have not many clean water. Okay, so during the dry season, we have to move this kind of dirty things from the water dam to enlarge the size. Okay, so what kind of things will accumulated in the bottom? What kind of things? I think the soil from mountainside. Right, you can see that when we have a huge raindrops, huge rains, we have typhoon, and the mountain crushed. All the soils go to the water dams. Okay, it's kind of a terrible things. And we have a living creature like golden mussel and a floating moss. This is floating moss, and this is a golden mussel. They will destroy our water supply system. Okay, when we build the water dams, okay, we're using this metal iron as the gate here. You can imagine those blue screen here is made by iron. Okay, but unfortunately, this alien species, which means it's not a native species in Taiwan, it's an alien species. Then the golden mussel, this one, they love the situation of this water dam. And naturally, they will be attracted by the ionic of iron. Ion will attract this golden mussel. Okay, they will stick on those gate. Okay, and once they stick on the gate, they start growing. Okay, how many of them could breathe? One times 0.2 million eggs, but 4 times a year. The reason we import it is because they are eatable, but they are not delicious compared to other seafood. I'm sorry. And Taiwan people don't want to eat it. There is another light water snail called 福寿螺. 福寿螺, I think it's a golden snail in English, maybe. We also import it for a supporting resource because we were a very poor country. I think like 50 years ago, we are quite very poor. So we eat snails as our protein resource. And then we import this light water mussel because it's very easy to produce their next generations and very easy for us to collect it a lot of mussel meat. Okay, but it caused a problem if they shows in water dams. Imagine one golden mussel breeds 4 times a year. Each time they release 0.2 million eggs, and almost all of them will grow up successfully. So if we want to erase them, if we want to remove them, what can we do? But it's very difficult, already very difficult to get it. Okay? But you didn't consider about the size of this water dam. This gate could be like 20-meter deep. Okay? This gate is underwater. They're living in the water area. You have to dive and use the hammer to knock them down and to collect it. Yep. And don't laugh, because it's truly a situation. We ask many people every year during the winter time because they didn't breathe in the winter time. Okay? If you do it in the summertime, you try to kill them, then release more eggs before you kill them. So we can only do it in the winter time. They are less activity. Okay, they are more stable, so you could erase them without releasing the egg. I think like in the small, very small water dam, like Liyutan, we're spending about $4 to $5 million to hiring those divers, to erase the muscle. So this is a terrible situation. Yes, we may have to invent this kind of machine, I think, but think about, you have to erase all of them. If you leave only one, it produces 4 times per year, and each time they produce 0.2 million eggs. Okay, it's a terrible situation. Okay, it will block the gate. So during the raining season, if we have a lot of water, floating into these water dams, but we could not open the gate and release the water, what will happen? Too much water will damage the structure of this water dam, destroy the water dam too. Okay? Allow me to explain in Chinese 1 minute. 在台湾，我们的水库老化的一个很可怕的原因，其实就是这个东西叫河壳菜蛤，就是你看到这一颗小小的蛤蜊，其实是会毁了台湾的水库的。怎么说呢？它1年可以生产4次，1次产20万颗蛋，然后几乎每一颗蛋都会成功孵化，可以吗？然后我们如果要移除这个外来种的生物，它本来不是台湾的，如果我们要移除它的话，我们只能用一个方式，就是靠潜水夫在冬天的时候潜水下去，然后用榔头一颗一颗敲掉。这个是台湾现在的状况。那为什么我们不在夏天做这个事情呢？因为这个河壳菜蛤有一个特色，就是如果它面临危险，它要被杀掉的时候，它会尽情的释放它的精跟卵，然后就会有更多的孩子产生，可以理解哈。所以我们要在冬天比较稳定的时候去做这件事情，很可怕欸。以我刚刚举的一个鲤鱼潭水库来讲的话，我们1年大概要花快500万去请人家来潜水，对啊，然后要花很多的时间去做这个事情。但是刚刚有同学讲说，我们为什么不用机器？对，我们用机器可能可以快一点，但是问题是会有另外一个状况，只要你留1只，只要有1只就好了。它一样1年生4次，1次20万颗蛋，所以这个事情几乎是无解。Floating moles will cover the surface of water dam. Okay, if you cover the surface, so no sunlight could go directly into the water, right? They were blocked. The sunlight was blocked by those floating moles. This one, floating moles. And without the sunlight, all the algae in the water will die. And their body will fermentate it and lower down the quality of the water. But all the dead body will become the nutrition of these floating moles and increasing their growth speeds. Okay? And how fast they can grow? One piece of the leaf in the appropriate situation can grow to this size within 7 days. So in English, you cannot feel how much we hate this kind of floating mode. But in Chinese, you can see here is 人厌怀叶平. Okay, human hates it. And the reason we hate it is because it grows so fast and destroys the water quality. Okay, it can also happening in the water dam. This kind of things also happening in the water dam. And if the water quality of these water dams highly dropped, all the water we pump from this water dam is also poisoned. Okay, because you can imagine it become a dead body soap. This whole water dam become a dead body soap, and we want to drink this soap. Okay, it's all caused by this floating mode. Here's several links you could use. This is a global invasive species database. If you go to this link, and you can see where this kind of a species is located right now in worldwide. Okay, this is a very useful. And this real-time water dams. So here, I already show you, yeah, the Taiwan statistic.com, taiwanstate.com. If you go to this website, you can see some real-time water level of this water dam. I showed you last week. Okay, here is some links you could use. And I prepare a PDF file for you if you want. In Chinese, 在台湾我们还有另外一个很可怕的外来种生物，叫做人厌怀叶萍，它的英文叫 floating moths。floating moths 就是其实一种漂浮的苔藓这样子的东西，它的英文名字是这样，可是在中文它叫人厌怀叶萍，是因为它的叶子的形状很像槐树的叶子，像另一种植物的叶子。那它可以长得多快呢？只要一片，任何一片上面的叶子，在1个礼拜内，它就有办法长成这个样子的大小。然后那个环境是适当的情况哈，所以说它可以很快的、非常非常快速的把水库的表面全部盖住。很恐怖了吧？水库的表面盖住了会发生什么情形？阳光照不下去，水中的藻类死亡。水中藻类死亡之后，那些鱼虾没有东西吃，然后水质就开始败坏。没有东西吃的时候，鱼虾死亡的尸体会腐烂，它就变成一潭湿水。然后这些湿水呢，又会变成这些人厌怀叶萍的养分，使它们长得更快。所以这是一个很可怕的恶性循环。Do you know we have a water lily pool in Joying area? Do you know that water lily pool or lotus pond? Water lily pool, I think. 就是莲池潭，知道吗？ For online student, if you don't have a chance to go to Kaohsiung, you still could watch on website and don't believe those pictures, okay? All the pictures on websites modified. Okay, 莲池潭 is not that kind of a pretty.Sure, you won't see this view in Joying. No, the truth is it should be like this one. When we short of water, and it could be like this one. You can see a lot of the green algae here. Okay? When we have water, the size of a water lily pond is quite huge. Here is the size of water lily pond. Here is 200 meters. If it's this size, so this water lily pond may be 200, 400, 600, 800, 1.2 kilometer long with this size. Okay, this is the size of a water lily pond. It only takes 1 month. It only takes 1 month to cover whole the surface by these floating moss during the summertime. So they grow truly very fast. Okay, in Australia, this kind of plants also cause lots of problems. They already destroyed the ecosystem in Australia. Okay, they directly kills all the living creature in this pond. Okay, so people will have to move those floating moss annually. 好，我刚刚跟你讲的事情是这个莲池潭的面积大概有1.2公里长。这样子的面积，在1个月内，那些人厌怀叶萍应该就可以把它长满了。在适当的情况下，1个月内，好，很可怕，速度非常快。然后这个人厌怀叶萍在澳洲其实已经摧毁了一些生态系，比较小型的池塘也是很快就会被盖住，然后整个 生态系 ecosystem 就会 crash 了，然后很可怕的一件事情。那他们每一年都要花很多的经费去移除这些人业环业品。As I tell you, 2 alien species, the golden mussel and the floating moles. And in these PDF files, we offer you more information of these alien species and how they influence our ecosystem. Okay, and keep going. The water using radio, in which part is the highest one? Which part? Agriculture, daily use, medical system, industrial, you think so, right? Yes, we need some cold water to cooling down the temperature. Especially we have steels, we have iron, we have this kind of factory to produce the steel and irons. And they are burning melted metal and they need cooling down. But no, for now, we could reuse, we could recycle this water, this cooling water. Okay, so it's highly reduced water use for industry. Okay. The truth is in this slide, agricultures, it's like 73% of the water we used to watering our land for agricultural products. Industry only takes 9%. Domestic, which means your daily use, is like 80%. Most of the industry water can be recycled. Our government already asked them to do the recycle. Okay, but agriculture things, you watering this water on the land, it will be absorbed by the land, right? And where it goes? To the air, yes, around 50% to the airs. And the other part, the rest of the part goes to the underground water. Okay, so underground water may be able to be stored and be pumped out again, right? Think about that, it's kind of a recycle. Okay, all the water we use on the land to watering our agricultural products, our rice, our vegetable, and the extra water will evaporate into the air or go down to the underground. Okay, all this underground water can be considered about a recycle and a restored water, and it can be reused. Okay, so it's not actually like 33% of the water was disappear after we use on agriculture. Okay, agriculture, irrigation of this rice, and fish farming. You told me, teacher, when we doing the fish farming, if I use saltwater fish, I can plug the water from ocean, right? So we don't need light water. Am I right? If I choose saltwater fish to do the fish farming, so I could take water from the ocean, so I don't need the light water. Yes or no? You don't think it's that easy, right? Yes, you go back to think about the map I'm showing you. All those fish farm is with a distance, long distance from the ocean. You could not pump water. Yes, of course you can use a pipeline, but you need a lot of extra energy to pumping the seawater, right? So it may be a one-time things. And then I will try to refill my farm, my fish farm, by using fresh water. Okay? By using fresh water. So if I don't have enough fresh water, what will happen? The fish will die because the water getting too salty. Okay? But some creatures, some species still could survive even under very salty water. They could survive, like clam. Okay, like a clam, like a shellfish, they can survive in extremely salty water. They can digest the liquid inside their body to balance the salt in the water. But they will test the salty, very salty. Okay, there is a news. It happened in March 7, we have a news because we have a dry season in, I think, before the May. We have a very extremely dry season, like half a year, we don't have a raindrop. And this clam become too salty. And this news report told us, normally we could cook a clam soup with like half kilogram of a clam and make a 1 liter clam soup. Okay, this radioed. Okay, and the soap tastes very good. You may adding a little bit of salt inside. But after this dry season, this drought happened. You only need 4 clams to cook 1 liter soap, and it still tastes too salty because the clam can digest their body liquid to balance the salt. Okay, in Chinese, 这个故事其实很有趣啦。这个故事其实，如果你有机会去看这个新闻的话，在5月之前的时候，台湾正好面临一个很可怕的干季。然后这个干季会造成什么样的情况呢？就是文蛤变得太咸。那文蛤这种生物很有趣，它是可以调整它身体里面的体液，去平衡水中的盐度的。所以当你的水越来越咸的时候，它就会变得越来越咸，但它会活下来。好，那在一般的渔业的过程中呢，因为这些渔温呢离海洋比较远，我们要接管过来很远，花钱，所以我们把海水打进来，或许是1次或2次，后面我们不会长期消耗这么多的能源，从海里面把水打进来，我们都用淡水去调节它的咸度。可是前一阵子缺水嘛，我们就没有办法调整，所以很多的渔温的鱼是咸死的。然后再过来呢，这些文蛤咸到什么程度？以前你大概用半公斤的文蛤，你可以煮一个1公升的文蛤汤，以前大概是这样 ，OK 哈，半公斤。在干季的时候，这个新闻告诉你，只要4颗蛤蜊就可以了，而且煮出来的那碗汤还太咸，就是因为蛤蜊一直在吃盐巴，然后活下来，这是很有趣的一个新闻哈。This slide explains that the agricultural irrigation is not the major waste of our water because most of the water is from river, and the river is a little bit of dirty water we could not directly use as industry or our daily life. Okay, so those water is not from the water dam, it's from the river, so that it won't take too much water. Okay, it won't take too much water that's related to our daily life. 可以理解吗？就是农业灌溉的水，它其实主要是来自河川，不是来自水库，所以它不会占用我们平常的民生用水。Okay, they are dirty water. Only like 34% from the clean water better quality, then it can be replaced to use as industrial water. Okay, most of them are poor quality. And this is the drought we have in 2021. Less than the averaging. Okay, it's getting frequency. I told you, right? Frequently, it's getting frequently. Okay, this is the way we're talking about. We can pump the water. We can purify the water from sea, from ocean, to create the fresh water. This is a way. This is the way we use in desert. Do you still recall that? In 23.5 latitude, 北纬23.5度, almost all the country like desert, right? And the Taiwan have water because we're surrounded with the ocean and the typhoon. Okay, with this kind of condition, all those countries only have a desert. How could they get water? This is the way. Okay, this system is the way. Okay, all the water they pump in, maybe on the very deep underground water, still salty. Okay, can you imagine that even the desert was ocean before, and all the salt from the ocean become a rock salt. 盐就是海盐，到后来一直干燥变成沙漠，到它变成盐 rock salt。OK， 那这个东西的话，他们的是很咸的。All those water from the underground is still very salty, but they could use that evaporator, give them heat. And here is the transforming system. Let's switch the heat water and cold water all the time, so they won't be able to waste the energy. And this is the system very useful now, widely used in desert. So the keyword for today is desert moisture collector. Okay, in desert we don't have pure water, we have moisture. We could collect the moisture from the air. You could check this keyword and find out the concept of how we get water from desert. Okay, now you can even buy a very small equipment, hand carry equipment with you, and you open it with a solar system to offering the power. You know, in the desert we have a lot of sunlight, and we collect the sunlight as energy, and use this kind of energy to produce the heat, and collecting, removing, pushing the fan, and collecting the moisture from the desert. So with this kind of a small hand-carried equipment, you could survive in desert. Okay, even there looks no water, but let's still have moisture. And the moisture ray, you may not have this kind of a concept like how much moisture we have in this classroom right now. Not that high. We have air conditioner. Not that high. Around 70 if you feel truly comfortable, not too dry, not too humid. We turn on the air conditioner, the humidity will be like 70%. But in desert, the moisture content, the humidity, is two factors. It's actually the same factors. Moisture content is equal to humidity. Okay, 就是空气中的水汽含量其实是跟湿度是一样的一个指数啦。我在讲的这个东西哈 ，relative humidity 就是相对湿度，我们在讲的这个东西。那开冷气的时候是70%。In desert, the relative humidity is around 20 or 30%, very low. So even you get a sweat, it will evaporate very quick. Okay, but still we have moisture in the air. We still could collect at least kind of 20 or 30% of moisture from the air by using that kind of hand carry equipment. So go search this keyword. If you're adding an equipment or facilities, and you will find out this hand carry equipment. Okay, this is the keyword for today. And here is how there's a link talking about this system, more information here. Okay, in Jingmen, we have a very good Gaoliang liquid, very high quality. And the reason we have this kind of high quality product is because we have very high quality water. All the Kingman land was made by granite. Like granite is 花岗岩, granite. They made it by granite, a very hard rock with very, very small bubble inside. They are formed by volcano, and they can use to filter the water. You can imagine a water drop falling down on this granite. It may take 1 week to go in further deeps, throw and become underground water. Very long time. But during this long process, this rock, granite, is doing the purification things for this water. So the water, the underground water in Jingmen is truly very pure. That kind of water can drink directly. And we use this water to make Gaoliang liquid. Okay, this is the reason. Okay, we try to use other water from other islands, from Taiwan, from mainland China, but all those water quality is not good enough compared to Jingmen. Okay, so they need a good water, good sorghum, just Gaoliang, this one. Fraction scale. Actually, we cook the sorghum with boiling water, and we extracted the element from sorghum, so it becomes a sorghum soup. Okay, this kind of silken soap will goes to doing the fermentation. Fermentation creates the alcohol. And we burning this kind of alcohol with water. We boiling this kind of mixture things. And the alcohol comes first. In different height, we collected different fraction from those vapors. And we condense it with cold water, and alcohols come out. Okay, this kind of alcohols here becomes 高粱 liquid. Right, allow me to explain in Chinese. 金门的时候因为是花岗岩嘛，所以它的那个过滤水的能力很好，它过滤之后的水都非常的纯，好，都非常的纯。那这个水可以拿来做高粱酒。那在做高粱酒之前呢，我们会用这个干净的水去煮高粱。然后把高粱里面的一些元素 elements 萃取出来，然后你就得到一锅高粱汤，对不对？然后这个高粱汤再拿去发酵 fermentation， 在发酵的过程中，它会产生酒精 alcohol， OK， 然后发酵完之后呢，这些酒精混着水的这些高粱汤就被拿来做这件事情 fraction。I also call it fraction， 就是它就是在煮的过程中，它有不同的高度。In the column, we have different kind of a density of vapors, and we collect those vapors, and we cooling down them by using cold water. It's called condensation. And after condensation, the pure alcohols will come out. But this kind of alcohol was mixed with the element from 高粱 from sorghum. Okay?这个样子的过程就是我在这个叫分六了 fraction， 我就叫它 fraction 叫蒸馏。那蒸馏跟分馏的意思是一样，反正我就是煮自己锅汤，然后在管柱的不同高度，它有不同的密度的蒸汽，然后我把这些蒸汽拿起来凝结，它就会变成带着高粱味道的酒精，这样可以吗？哦，高粱 liquid is 58% of alcohol. But this kind of a condensed 高粱 original liquid is 85% of alcohol. Right, now we come to the clam. Clam now shows their highly abilities. I already told you that some clams will destroy our water dam, right? We could also make this clam become a clam sensor. Okay, before we pumping the water into the water dam or pumping the water to doing the purification. Before we're doing that, we need a lot of the sensor. We need a detector to detect it, to evaluate the water quality. Okay? 在我们用水之前，我们要先知道这个水的品质。可以哈？所以我们要放很多的 sensor。要放很多侦测器 Okay, go use cell phone right now to find a keyword, clam sensor. You will find several articles. One is the clams in Poland. So if you find clam sensor and Poland, you will see what I'm going to tell you. So the link I send you right now is talking about the clam sensor. Clam is a living creature. Clam is a living creature. They are very sensitive with the water quality. They were training 8 clam. They were training it. They were collected the clam from the wild and training them for 3 months. And they will see if they are willing to work or not. They were training a lot of clam actually, but selected 8 best from land, which means those clams are quite very sensitive with the water quality. How they training them? They will give them extremely pure water to let them feel comfortable. And suddenly adding some toxic chemical with only slight quantities, very small quantities, adding maybe 1 drops. And this climbers feel suddenly uncomfortable and close their shell. Okay? The most sensitive 8 will be collected after 3 months training. and they start work. They will hang those clamps in the gate of water dams. So whenever the water, outside the water, get into the water dam, they will pass through those clamps. When the clamps suddenly closing the shell, which means the water quality is poor, okay? And they will shut down the pumping process, okay? And check out what happened. So those 8 clamps stand on the very first line to protect our water qualities. So they call them clamp sensor. And you can see from this PowerPoint, this picture shows a clamp with a magneto things on his shell. And here's another receptors, which means when the shell is opened, they will not connect to each other, right? But when it is suddenly closed, the magneto is shaking and hit the receptor here, which pass a signal that connected to the computer, okay? And once the computer realizes these signals, which means they will count how many clamps was closing their mouths. And if it is over 4 of them, which means over 50% of them closing the shell, we will realize that the water quality is poor. Okay, if only 1 or 2 closing their shell, maybe just they have bad moon. Okay, so it's a living creature, but very easy and fast to detect. I'll only work for like half years, and then we will release them into the wild. Okay, and then they eat well. They eat well. Okay, they eat well during this period. During the training process, most of the time they are in the very, very clean water, and they feel extremely comfortable. And we're feeding them their nutritions. They eat well. Yeah. But 8 of them will have to walk like half year, and they will release to the wild. Okay. Why we release them into wild? Why we release them? Yeah, so they could having baby. So we will have more climbing future. Okay. This happened in Poland. It's true story. It's interesting story. And other artists create this kind of a clamp sensor. This kind of clamp sensor, this one can detect the oxygen level in the water. But only one thing, you can see the artificial sensor here may only detect 1 or 2 factors in one time. But clearly, if the data goes wrong, the data points to oxygen level or pH value, directly point to these factors, right? But if this is a living creature, like a living clamp, they are sensitive to many things. So we can only detect that something happened, but we don't know what truly happened. So after we shut down, we cut out the water supply, we have to go do the examinations to detect what things going wrong. Okay? And then there is a musicians create this kind of equipment. It would detect the wave of the sea level and create some music. The link I shared to the online student right now is a musician that he creates a tour, an equipment that can detect the wave of our ocean and create music. Here, this link.